What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts. It's time to do the weigh-in recap, predictions, and the full card betting breakdown for this UFC Vegas 32 card. Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. Should be a pretty exciting event on ESPN. It's high level as far as these free TV cards go. I mean, one of the best fight night main events you're probably going to get, at least for a while. This is a sweet one. Excuse me. I'm excited to break down the fights once again, give my thoughts on how the fighters looked on the scales. We'll quickly pull up the tail of the tape. It's for the first fight of the night, Diana Belbita and Hannah Goldy. Belbita on one side, both girls, I believe, made weight. Yep, 115.5 for Goldy and 114.5 for Belbita. So on point. Both looked in pretty good shape. Belbita looks fantastic as far as her physical appearance goes. But as far as the fight goes, I got to say, though, like Hannah Goldy's pretty jacked. Does have some really good muscle tone. But it's fighting, right? It's not about the physique. It is about how you fight. Belbita has a really awkward Thai style. Definitely like that forward-leaning stance. Lots of volume, which is kind of the opposite of what I've seen from Goldy. Goldy sometimes is a bit stiff with the striking, lacks volume. I feel like Belbita, she lost one fight. It was against Georgia in the last one, and she was a big favorite there. And then now this matchup, obviously she was coming in as a dog. Now the money has gotten a lot more even. I feel like Diana Belbita can win this matchup here against Hannah Goldy. I think it's going to go the distance here. Odds-wise, is Belbita still an underdog? She's actually turning into an ever so slight favorite around minus 115. Best value, you'll find her at minus 108. The odds have shifted now. Hannah Goldy's actually more the underdog in the matchup. I think Belbita does win it by a decision. Props for this fight if you are looking to potentially make a betting play here. Belbita to win by a decision is plus 175. I don't think it's a terrible bet. And I do think that's probably how this fight goes. So we'll ride Belbita in the first fight of the night for a win by decision. Let's keep on moving up. Sijara Eubanks, Elise Reed. Obviously, there is some experience difference between these two gals. At the highest of levels, you see Elise Reed there, who also took the fight on short notice, facing off against Sijara Eubanks. You see, it's not about the muscle. But I will say this, Reed is coming up from 115 pounds. Sijara Eubanks is a good-sized girl at 125, physically very strong with a grappling-heavy attack, really good wrestling, offensively good on the ground, submission-wise doesn't shoot for as many as she probably should. But I think in this fight here, she'll put on a pretty dominant performance. Elise Reed's a fun prospect from outside of the UFC, but I don't think she was ready for this level of matchup. This is a very difficult debut. I will ride Sijara Eubanks for the win here. I really feel like because it's short notice, she's going to get the finish. I'm picking submission in the second round for Sijara Eubanks over Elise Reed here. Odds-wise for this matchup, let's see what everything's sitting around. Man, widespread. At best value, Sijara's minus 260. If you want Reed as a dog, you can find her all the way up to plus 315. I don't see the dog coming through here. Sijara Eubanks, definitely a potential parlay addition. I do think she's one of the lock picks. Should be dominant. Sijara Eubanks to win this fight inside of the distance here, plus 155 value. Because it's short notice, I see inside the distance that Eubanks submission prop plus 435. She has excellent jiu-jitsu, though she's not much of a finisher. I think she's going to get the finish here. That plus 435 price tag's juicy for a sprinkle. Potential play there. Definitely lock pick on Sijara Eubanks in our second fight of the night. Let's keep on moving up this card. Julio Arce versus Andre Ewell. Fun matchup here between these two. Arce on one side, good striker. Ewell on the other side, good striker. Now, range advantage, obviously in the favor of Andre Ewell. He's a pretty lanky, tall fighter. Fights rangy as well. Arce, southpaw, who's a bit hittable at times. Granted, because this fight is southpaw versus southpaw, I think that's the advantage to more the power punch style of Arce. I think he finds a way to hurt and sleep Andre Ewell. Knockout win in the second round for Arce is the pick. We'll quickly bring up the weigh-in images and see if something somehow changes there. I mean, Andre Ewell's afro looks badass. Both guys in good shape. Ewell is, the slightly bigger guy as expected. I don't think he looks bad. I'm not going to pick Arce as the lock of the night. I mean, if you watch the Best Bets video, you know that I did not do that. But I still think that Julio Arce is going to get a win here. But I'm not going to tell you that Andre Ewell has no shot. If you were to bet a dog and you wanted to bet on Ewell, I wouldn't shame you for it. If Arce was to win by a KO. That prop comes up to plus 600, so some great value there. Yule on the other side, though. Let's say he wins a decision, so let's just talk betting. Plus 300 for a Yule decision. I think that's the method he would win. Maybe worth a sprinkle if you're looking to play the other side, but we are riding Arce for the victory. Let's keep on moving up this card. If you guys haven't yet, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel. Let's keep that algorithm pumping. So smash the like, subscribe if you're new here. Need at least 100 likes on this weigh-in recap. And let's talk about this next fight. It is Mickey Gall versus Jordan Williams. Exciting matchup because Jordan is now cutting weight, dropping a weight class. He looked good on the scales here. He's a diabetic, so, weight cutting was not his thing for a fair amount of time. He looks pretty interesting with these tips, these blonde tips. Almost the same height as Mickey Gall. Physique-wise, similar appearance. I do worry about the weight cut for Jordan Williams being diabetic. I don't think that he's going to lose to Mickey Gall, though. Gall has lost to guys that he should not lose to. TKO lost to Diego Sanchez. Decision lost to Mike Perry. Mickey Gall's a decent striker. Definitely on the ground, does shine, but physical strength is not one of his best attributes. Jordan Williams, pretty fast and does have some serious pop in the punches. I feel like he's going to find a way to land on the chin of Mickey Gall. Might be one of the few men, the second man actually, to finish him. I'll ride Jordan Williams by a KO. Second round, I could also see it going all three, but I think Williams definitely will win this matchup. He is a slight favorite, not a huge favorite, slight money. Minus 165 at best value to plus 160 Mickey Gall. So we'll definitely ride with Jordan Williams in this matchup. Let's keep on looking for just a moment. Williams by decision, plus 242. Williams inside the distance, plus 170. Williams by KO TKO, plus 240 at best value, plus 175. I like Williams. I think he's a decent play. Maybe I don't get carried away with the props for this fight, though, because I could see with Mickey Gall's natural durability it going longer. But I still think Jordan Williams is a lock fighter, and he's going to win this matchup. But let's keep on moving up the card, man. Still got two prelims left. Ian Heinisch, Nasruddin Imavov. On one side, you have Ian Heinisch, who is pretty damn aggressive wrestling style and a lot of holding, a lot of clinching. It's not the most fun to watch, but it's effective. On the other side, Nasruddin Imavov is a pretty solid kickboxer from the longer range, decent from mid-range as well. He's taller and longer than Ian Heinisch. Though Heinisch has a clear-cut physical strength advantage, he should look to take a page out of Phil Hawes' book. A lot of clinching, a lot of holding, but I think Heinisch will do it better than Phil Hawes did. I feel like physically he is stronger, and he's a bigger guy than Phil Hawes. I think he'll find an easier way inside, and Hawes did have success, though that third round he gassed. Heinisch will not. Heinisch by a decision here over Nasruddin Imavov. I am riding with Ian Heinisch. Good middleweight matchup. We'll check them out on the scales momentarily here. Jacked. Ian Heinisch has some nice fucking gains, man. Ian Heinisch is always looking pretty jacked, and with those wrestling styles, that muscle is real. That's power. And you look how thick his frame is. He's a thick dude. He's going to be hard for Nasruddin Imavov to deal with in the clinch. I think that's where we see Ian shine. Decision win, Ian Heinisch over Nasruddin Imavov. Minus 145 at best value for Ian. You find plus 142 dog Imavov at best value as well. Let's see. Heinisch to win by a decision is plus 150. I don't think that's a bad prop bet if you're looking for one on this. But yeah, we're riding Heinisch for the dub in this matchup. Let's keep on moving. I think it's the featured prelim. We have arrived at it, the featured prelim of the night. Punahele Soriano and Brendan Allen. My goodness, this should be on the main card. Maybe even, the featured bout of the night. But it's a sweet prelim. On one side, Punahele Soriano is a hell of a damn knockout artist. The man has dynamite punches. On the other side, Brendan Allen is a submission ace. Very good with his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skill set. I love this fight. I think we're in store for a very interesting grappler versus striker matchup, but let's be honest here. Punahele Soriano has a background in judo and wrestling, state championship level, I believe. Brendan Allen, some holes in the striking game, and I think those holes will be a potential issue for him here. I really feel like we are going to see a showcase by Punahele Soriano knockout in the second round of Brendan Allen, as long as he can stop the takedown. That's going to be the factor. If he ends up getting put on the ground, that's going to be trouble. You can look at them facing off here. Man, the back of Punahele Soriano, where the power comes from. You can definitely see he's got some size to him. He's thick. He's shorter. Very explosive. A little bit of a wild striking style. I think it's going to be a Punale Soriano showcase. I think he's a fun prospect at 8-0. I don't think Brendan Allen's the guy to beat him. I'll ride Soriano, though the odds are very close. Soriano, -112. Brendan Allen, +108 at best value. Near Pick'em's odds. Soriano to win this fight by a KO is sitting at around +170, +150. For a submission for Brendan Allen, that is sitting around +240. I'll ride Soriano by a knockout. Allen submission may be possible. Maybe he gets the neck. Maybe he gets something in on Soriano, but I think Soriano finds a way to sleep Brendan Allen here. I think he's going to overwhelm him with pressure and knock him out in the second round. Let's keep on moving up. We've arrived at the main card, and it's a hell of a fight on this main card. If you haven't yet, smash that like button, guys. We need at least 100 likes on this video. Adrian Yanez, Randy Zohan Costa. Awesome fight. A fight that I can't wait for. I feel like we're in store for absolute fireworks here. Adrian Yanez is a hot prospect. He's like a Jorge Masvidal-esque. I mean, the dude mixes it up striking-wise at a very high level for a guy with, not a ton of the highest level of experience, but he has more fights than Randy Costa. Double the fights than Randy Costa. Costa's good, but he gets wild. And you can see the inexperience level, even in his victories. He throws the same strikes multiple times. He'll kind of be a little bit too wild, overextending himself. Adrian Yanez is a higher level striker. He's beaten better competition. He's going to find a way to sleep Randy Costa, and I don't think it goes past the round here. Knockout in the first for Adrian Yanez. He puts a showcase fight on Randy Zohan Costa, who's going to probably come out hard and a bit wild. He may be more calculated than normal, but his instincts will take over. You can see Zohan there. Adrian Yanez there. Very cool with one another. No beef. They had a little MMA junkie press conference. That was just a fun little thing they did. We're riding Yanez all day here, and he should win by a KO. He is a hot prospect to keep an eye on, and I don't think Zohan Randy Costa is the guy to beat him. I just don't see it. I think it's going to take somebody with a more versatile game. +100 for Yanez, Costa by a KO, +421. But yeah, I'm thinking Yanez definitely by a KO in this matchup. Odds around -185 at best value for Costa. For Yanez, Costa best value +195. I'm all day on Adrian Yanez here by a KO. Keep on moving up, guys. All right, next bout on this main card, it's Maycee Barber versus Miranda Maverick. Very exciting female fight. Maycee Barber, the future, that's her nickname, and that's what she was kind of thought of to be, right? Like a lot of people felt like she might be the youngest champion. Halt the brakes on the hype, 2-fight losing streak. The Grasso loss. Mid-range striking needs a lot of improvement. How long ago was that? 5 months ago. How much has she improved since then? Miranda Maverick's a beast everywhere. She fights a lot better from the mid-range. She's at a disadvantage as far as the height does go in this fight. As far as the reach goes, about the same. Miranda Maverick, though, physically I believe is stronger. Slightly more pro experience, but not much. Has taken losses outside of the UFC, so didn't bring in that undefeated hype that Maycee Barber did, and now, she's let it down. Now, I'm not saying that she has no future. She's 23. The future is bright for both these girls. I just think right now, Maverick is the superior fighter. It's southpaw versus southpaw. I like Maverick to win this fight. I think decision, though. I think grappling-wise, it will be competitive. Striking-wise, especially from the kickboxing range, advantage Miranda Maverick. She finds a way to win here. Hard-fought decision. Miranda Maverick, she beats Maycee Barber. Let's look at the face-off here between these two gals. Very slight height advantage for Maycee Barber. I got to ride with Maverick to win it. I think it could be close. Miranda Maverick is good, as is Maycee. I'm going Maverick. We're on Team Maverick over here, guys. I've predicted it all week, and I see it going her way. -140 for Maverick. Maycee Barber, +130 for Dog. Let's see. Maverick to win by a decision, +145. I think that's very likely, and I think that would potentially be a bet. If you don't want to pick a winner, fight to be by a decision. Fight goes the distance, -180. I see it going the distance here, and we'll ride with Miranda, fear the Maverick, over Maycee, the future Barber. That future is going to be held off just a bit. She's not the present. She is the future, so we're riding Maverick. Let's keep on moving up. Featured bouts of the night. Darren, the Damage Elkins, Darrick Minner. This fight could be a lot closer than it was originally intended to on paper. I mean, obviously the odds have come close. Let's see what they're sitting at officially. Minus 145 for Minner at best value, plus 140 for Elkins, but you can find it closer than that for Elkins. So not nearly as widespread when we first talked about this fight earlier on in the week. We'll quickly look at them face off here. The damage doesn't look bad, but he looks old, man. The damage looks old. Darren Elkins looks very old, guys. He's had a lot of fights. And his style, taking a lot of damage, usually fighters with that style don't age well in the game. They slow significantly. I think Elkins is going to be slowed here. I'm riding Darrick Minner. He will win this fight. I think decision victory. Grappling game is very solid, but the striking is actually not bad either. He showed okay stamina in that fight against Charles Rosa, I believe. Yeah, it was Charles Rosa. Let me just double check. Yeah, it was Rosa. Controlled for 3 rounds. Elkins beat Garagori in the last one, but Garagori was a perfect style matchup. I could see Darrick Minner getting a submission early in this fight and actually shocking a lot of people. Darrick Minner is a tricky fight for this old Darren Elkins. If it was Darren Elkins that beat Michael Johnson, I'd be on Team Elkins here, actually. But it's not. He looks old. He looks rough. He's 37. He's no longer, in his early 30s. He's towards the end of his career. He's taken some losses. I'm riding Darrick Minner to win this fight, and I do think probably a decision victory for him. As I said, the odds around minus 145. Minner, though, by a submission is never a bad prop bet because he does have a nasty guillotine choke. Minner by a submission plus 400. Let's say Elkins by a KO TKO just for fun plus 900. That's not a terrible play because he could potentially get some ground and pound in there, pull off a wild upset. If he was to get a submission, that's crazy too, plus 597. And then Minner by a decision is sitting around plus 280. The props here would be more of sprinkles and you play a couple, but I like Darrick Minner to win this fight over Darren Elkins. Though neither towards the top of the weight class, so potential risky-ish bets on either side. Let's keep on moving up, and it's our co-main event of the evening. Raulian Paiva confirmed this is his new weight class. He plans to take over at 135 pounds. Let's see him on the scales. Kyler Phillips, the size, about similar. This is very interesting, guys, because Raulian Paiva is a hell of a kickboxer. From that mid-range, he's very tricky to deal with, as is Kyler Phillips. So this is a hard fight, prediction-wise, especially seeing Paiva looking equal, if not maybe even more muscular than Kyler Phillips. Paiva's a highly regarded flyweight, fights very well from the mid-range, but I think that Kyler is a very dynamic prospect. He has a lot of potential, light on his feet. Another guy that fights well from kickboxing range, enters the pocket and exits it very fast. Went in there and beat Song Yadong. I'm carrying that with a lot of weight into this fight. Paiva has not beaten, a Song Yadong level of fighter. He's beaten some all right names, has some losses as well, but against smaller guys. I think Paiva's a great flyweight. I think he could develop into a really good bantamweight. But I don't think he's going to beat the Matrix, Kyler Phillips. I am riding with Kyler to win this fight by a decision over Raulian Paiva here. Odds wide, minus 249 for Phillips. Paiva plus 250. Could see the odds a bit closer because Paiva does have a very high-level skill set, but I don't see him beating Kyler Phillips. He won't be the man to take him out here. Phillips to win this fight by a decision, minus 105. Not worth a bet. I would say Phillips on a potential parlay, or maybe just enjoy this fight and don't really take too much risk here because Paiva is live, but I do think Phillips should win this bout. But yeah, we're riding with Phillips. We've arrived at the main event. Smash that like button. We need at least 100 likes on this video. Hope you guys are enjoying this weigh-in recap. Subscribe if you guys are new here. It's Corey Sandhagen, TJ Dillashaw, high-level mixed martial arts main event. TJ Dillashaw, when he's at his best, unreal movement, competent striking out of both stances, very good wrestling, enters the pocket extremely fast, unorthodox with his movement. On the other side, Corey Sandhagen is a dynamic kickboxer, very good range management, patient fighter, and just can set up shots unlike many others. I mean, he has special ability in landing freak knockouts, flying knee KO, spinning wheel kick KO. His last 2 wins have been emphatic performances. Now, prime TJ Dillashaw at 100% on EPO, that's a hellish matchup for Corey Sandhagen. I believe he's going to be slower. I believe he's going to be off the sauce, and that's going to be a difference maker. I know he said he only did it for the Cejudo fight. Personally, I do find that a little bit hard to believe. Look at him here. This doesn't look like Dillashaw. This looks like young TJ. Corey Sandhagen should have his way with an older TJ Dillashaw. I think he puts on a potential performance of the lifetime here. Corey Sandhagen, 3rd round KO. I'm Mystic Macking it. I'm seeing a kick, maybe even a front kick. Corey Sandhagen's going to put on a showcase, guys, and he is going to beat TJ Dillashaw convincingly at bantamweight to earn his stake as the #1 contender in this weight class. I think he's a lock play. He looked fantastic on the scales. I like everything I'm seeing from Sandhagen. We'll quickly look at them. I mean, obviously he has the typical Sandhagen look, but Dillashaw doesn't look the same. Dillashaw does not look the same, guys. I don't care whether he says it was one time, he juiced or not. I find that hard to believe personally, and that's no hate against Dillashaw. I always like Dillashaw. But I think Sandhagen's going to destroy him here. Knockout win for Corey Sandhagen in the 3rd round. Sandhagen wins by KO. TKO is sitting around plus 130. I think that's a solid prop bet because I do think that's how he wins it. Sandhagen straight. He's around a minus 180 favorite to Dillashaw, a plus 175 dog. I think Sandhagen, lock of the night, and he's going to win by KO. I do not see TJ Dillashaw beating Corey the Sandman Sandhagen. Let's pull up best fight odds and let's talk some potential parlays. It's the end of the week now. We're a day out from the fights. If you haven't yet, smash the like button. We need 100 likes. Subscribe if you guys are new here too. Also, let me know. Do you guys want to see that fight companion? Let me know in the comments if you are interested in it. I definitely am always interested in doing those fight companions. So let me know if you guys want to see it, and then I'll definitely, surely give y'all a great fight companion for the card tomorrow. All right, I'm putting Corey as my lock play on the parlay after looking at everybody on the scales. Who am I feeling that supreme confidence in? Boom. Corey Sandhagen, Adrian Yanez, Sijara Eubanks, 3-fighter parlay that I see cashing. If you're throwing $1,000 at it, I'm throwing it at that one personally. I think it's going to cash. You want to add in somebody else, Kyler Phillips, plus 279. I think that should cash as well. Now, higher risk, of course. You're betting a lot of fights here. There's another way to do it. If you don't want to just parlay it up, just bet them all straight throughout the whole night. That could work as well for you. I think it's going to be a victory for Sandhagen in the main. Yanez on the card early. Sijara Eubanks will kick it off early on in the night with a win as well. And Kyler Phillips. I got these fighters all winning the fights. I cannot wait for these matchups. I think we are in store for a very fun card. That is a solid 4-fighter parlay. If you were just going to do 2, I think you can do Sandhagen Yanez or Sandhagen Eubanks. I really feel like those 4, though, listed, these are true locks of the night who really should be victorious out there and put on pretty dominant displays. I hope you guys enjoyed this weigh-in recap. Smash that like button. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you want to see a fight companion? Appreciate you all so much. If you're new here, subscribe as well. Should be a solid night of action for this UFC Vegas 32 card. Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. And I will see you all in the next video.